and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. We're looking at totally insane, uncomfortable, or just plain silly moments in parody films. Let's check it out. Number 10. Combing the Desert. Spaceballs.
Tell them to comb the desert, do you hear me? Comb the desert!
Lord Dark Helmet's henchmen clearly aren't too bright, and could use a lesson or 20 on the English language. During his attempt to capture Princess Vespa, the Lord's plans are foiled when she's rescued by Lone Star. They track them to the moon of Vega, where Dark Helmet, on the orders of President Scroob, then proceeds to command his men to comb the desert for their targets. We suppose we can't blame them entirely for what happens next, which is that the said underlings literally begin to comb the hot sand underneath them with massive hair tools. But we can blame Scroob and Dark Helmet for continuing to use these same henchmen thereafter, especially considering their ultimate fates.
We ain't found shit!
Number 9. Robin Hood and Little John's stick fight. Robin Hood, Men in Tights.
This ain't exactly the Mississippi.
Here's another Mel Brooks movie, this time parodying various Robin Hood film adaptations. Preceded by a speech made by Dave Chappelle's character Achoo, where he states how useless and irrelevant of a battle this will be, Robin Hood and the not-so-Little John duel over the principle of the thing. Using very big sticks while fighting on a very tiny bridge, the Men in Tights' weapons progressively decrease in size as their combat continues. Shortly after their sticks become a little too small to be of any real damage, Little John falls backwards into the smallest of streams.
Help me! I can't swim!
As Robin Hood laughs victoriously, John yells that he can't swim, and is anticlimactically saved by his opponent. Okay, so what was the point of all this then?
You're all right now.
Thank you, Robin. You saved me life.
Number 8. Sewer Chocolate Epic Movie.
A chocolate river!
Epic is probably not the best word to describe this gag-inducing moment. In both film adaptations of Roald Dahl's children's novel, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the gluttonous Augustus Gloop defies the factory owner and drinks out of the chocolate river, a move that ends poorly for the kid. Transforming Wonka's river into a sewage line, Epic Movie depicts Edward literally consuming crap because he apparently cannot smell the difference between excrement and chocolate. While this scene is more disgusting than anything else, Epic Movie deserves credit for finding a way to make nearly drowning in chocolate seem like the preferable option.
That's actually the sewer line.
Number 7. Preemptive Boomerang. Black Dynamite. Parodying blaxploitation films from the 70s, Black Dynamite is packed with quotable one-liners and countless visual gags. Combining both of these elements to create an unapologetically silly, yet awesome moment, Black Dynamite faces off against the wicked Dr. Wu, who is instantly disarmed by a boomerang. Prior to entering the room, Dynamite launched the weapon to ensure the villain does not gain the upper hand in the upcoming battle. Anyone willing to sell smack to kids when Black Dynamite is around should be ready to lose a limb or two.
Ha! I threw that shit before I walked in the room!
Number 6. Every Sperm is Sacred. Monty Python's The Meaning of Life.
Oh, bloody hell.
Fond of blending crass and surreal humor, Monty Python tested the limits of good taste in 1983's sketch-based film, The Meaning of Life. The Autumn Years segment merits a special mention for Mr. Creosote's side-splitting contribution to the film. However, the ultimate what the hell moment must be the show-stopping Broadway-esque musical number called Every Sperm is Sacred. Starting out as an educational tune about the church's rejection of contraception and masturbation, Every Sperm is Sacred progressively spreads to encompass the entire town of Yorkshire, and the song itself is unbelievably catchy. Monty Python basically took Life of Brian's Always Look on the Bright Side of Life and upped the madness. Number 5. Jinxers Loves Grandma. Date movie.
Jinxers!
No. Have you ever wanted to see a cat hump the rotting corpse of an elderly lady? Date movie has more than a few weird moments, but Jinxers banging grandma is the type of scene typically limited to YouTube's darkest and seediest channels. Grant accidentally knocks over an urn holding grandma's corpse, inspiring Jinkers to launch into an impromptu makeout session. Date movie's goofy special effects stop this display from being too gross, although the same cannot be said for the flashback showing grandma kissing Jinxers. Number 4. Breaking the Fart Barrier. Extreme movie. While rarely clever, surprising, or memorable, at the very least, fart jokes tend to be pretty short. Evidently, Extreme Movies saw this as a missed opportunity. While making out, a girl accidentally breaks wind, prompting the dude to diffuse the tension by repeating the act.
Cross the fart barrier.
Really?
See?
Rather than moving on, the girl opts to set the mood by unleashing a long fart lasting for approximately half a minute, but it feels like an eternity. This joke basically amounts to farts are funny, but a girl farting is even funnier, and the final punchline barely does anything with the setup. Number 3. Dinner Made by Hanson's Hand. Scary Movie 2.
Who'd like some appetizers? Oh, yeah. That's what I like to hear.
Here's a moment designed explicitly to test the audience's gag reflex. Parodying 1999's The Haunting remake, Cindy and the Scary Movie crew end up stuck in a deadly mansion, where the most unsettling thing is the caretaker's hand. As the guests sit down to enjoy dinner, Hanson painstakingly demonstrates that the food was prepared by hand.
Okay, now. Dig in. All right, now it's time for the turkey.
Along with being extremely repugnant, this scene lasts for quite a while, and pulls no punches when it comes to depicting Hanson's food-covered fingers. Following this display, the characters are likely to not be the only ones without an appetite.
And now a lot of people like to baste their turkeys, but I use this.
Number 2. Mrs. Robinson, 50 Shades of Black.
All I ask is that you do your very best.
I thought I was supposed to be here for music lessons.
When it comes to subjects ripe for mocking, 50 Shades of Grey is quite a low-hanging fruit. Out of all the plot points to parody, 50 Shades of Black sets sights on the fact that Christian Grey was molested by a family friend as a teenager. Also referencing The Graduate, 50 Shades of Black brings in the Brady Bunch's Florence Henderson to verbally and sexually abuse Marlon Wayans' Christian Black, who spends the majority of the scene crying. Unable to perform, Christian is dismissed, and Mrs. Robinson moves on to the next boy in line.
Get off the bed. You're not ready for this. Willie, you're up next.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are some honorable mentions.
Always look on the bright side of life.
Goodbye, Mama. Now you can have ice cream in heaven. I'll see you tonight when I go to bed in my head movies. But this head movie makes my eyes rain. Oh, damn, cuz, there goes my palimony. K-Fed ain't having it, yo.
We've got a lot of work to do.
Someone help me! I'm still alive, only I'm very badly burned.
Number 1. I Speak Jive, Airplane.
Can I get you something?
It's your mofo butter laying me to the bone, jacking me up.
Rightfully considered among the funniest comedies of all time, Airplane satirizes disaster movies by combining slapstick, surreal humor, verbal gags, and a hint of irreverence. Jim Abrams and the Zucker brothers came up with the legendary jive scene after failing to understand much of the dialogue in 1971's Shaft.
Oh, stewardess, I speak jive.
Oh, good.
With the language barrier proving too much for the stewardess, Leave It to Beaver's Barbara Billingsley steps up to translate for the two men.
He said that he's in great pain and he wants to know if you can help him.
Nowadays, it's hard to imagine such a scene being created and not receiving a fair bit of criticism, which only adds to its WTF nature.
Chomp don't want to help, Chomp don't get the help.
Well, that was certainly interesting. Would you